Hello and welcome in. It's the PHNX Cardinals podcast, your premier Arizona Cardinal podcast. Like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star wherever you get your program. Couple bros remote today. I'm Johnny Venerable, my co-host Brack. Damon, Dawg, sneak peek there at the top of the show. Become a diehard, go PHNX.com. Shop the number 18 collection. And man, oh man, we talking 18 today. Brack, breaking news. You reported on Twitter. Sweet baby Marvin Harrison Jr., MHJ, not only gets his contract done, buys jersey now potentially.
Absolutely. It's a good day to be an Arizona Cardinals fan because is it officially official that the Marvin Harrison Jr. era has begun? He put pen to paper, Johnny, on that 4-year contract with the team option for a 5th for $35 million in total. Going to get $22 million signing bonus. He's locked in. He got the first round bag. You love to see it. We also love to see Damon Dawg on the screen, even though he pulled himself off immediately.
He's a shy boy.
He is a shy guy.
I was feeling the stardom after yesterday's show. I couldn't get my face off the screen.
We could do it. Yeah, Chase saying 3-headed PHNX cards would work. Absolutely. It's the three best friends anybody could have. It's a tripod.
Damon Dawg apologized to the Hold the Line group, but only silence from JV. I will never apologize for anything in the history of this show. If you catch me apologizing, it's because I'm too humble. I apologize for being too humble as it relates to all things Marvin Harrison Jr. And in all seriousness, like, number one, this is not news I expected to get today. Number two, it doesn't mean that it's not welcomed. Marvin Harrison Jr., I think, had a reputation from externals outside this market, maybe opposing fan bases, difficult to deal with, sits out the draft process. He's probably going to have a lengthy contract negotiation. And a ho-hum, here we are on a quiet little Thursday during OTA weeks, right before the break in the summer. And he's like, yeah, I'll sign my contract. Yeah, I'm going to get my situations saddled up with the NFLPA. You can play as me in Madden. You can buy my jersey here shortly. Like, it's a good feeling because I think there were a lot of people that were cynical to this process that this guy plays by his own rules, right? And in all actuality, no, he just wanted to prepare for the season. And guess what? His ability to sign his contract now means that there's going to be no delay with regard to his development. He's going to be able to keep that momentum going that he and his team and his dad laid out the foundation for during the spring, preparing for the rigors of a rookie season. Now it's like, okay, well, shit, we can go to training camp and you can slide right into that X receiver. You can be the number one receiver from the jump. Kudos to him because this move signals unequivocally, for those who questioned it, he is serious about football. It's time to get real and real about football. And he's always been that player. The off the field stuff, it's over now.
Yeah. I mean, he's special terms for a special prospect, right?
Yeah.
That's what the pre-draft process was, how it played out. Same thing really went for Caleb Williams and a couple of these other guys. And you're going to see it going forward as well. Did Marvin Harrison Jr. kind of set the blueprint for how guys who draft slots have been pretty much determined even before their final collegiate season? But I mean, that's what it was for Marvin Harrison Jr. He didn't have a whole lot to prove beyond the tape, and he absolutely did that with Kyle McCord as his quarterback, which was a handicap of sorts to Marvin Harrison Jr. while playing at Ohio State. Still put up, over 1,000 yards receiving, the only back-to-back 1,000-yard receiver in Ohio State history. Had another 14 touchdown catches for Marvin Harrison Jr., so 28 over the last 2 seasons. And you're exactly right. Like, what we heard from senior and junior was they want to avoid the rookie wall. They want to be as prepared as they possibly could be to thrive in his rookie season. And that's why you and I are on the pretty much saying he's not just pro ready, he's star ready, because of the next level, like, foresight that he and his team have and getting this all done. And they're not going to do anything that's going to disrupt him being on the playing field and contributing to his team.
Yeah, we had Brian Baldinger on the show yesterday, and I asked him because I don't really know if we had gotten this answer from Baldy, like, straight to the point. what are your expectations? And if you missed it, I go encourage everybody, check out that interview. Baldy basically said, like, there's no reason why he can't be a seamless number one receiver immediately. And a lot of the pre-season rankings, the wide receiver rankings support that. Baldy said, and not really kind of tongue in cheek, in all seriousness, why can't he catch 100 passes? Why can't he have double-digit touchdowns? And I think at the end of the day, this is a circumstance in which, Jamar Chase has an outstanding rookie season. Guys like Justin Jefferson come in and take the league by storm. Like, we would be disappointed now at this point if Marvin can't match or emulate that, especially when you consider this is a team that has a glaring hole at number one receiver. And I think Michael Wilson can get to 1,000-yard receiving season. So that's not me throwing shade at our guy, Michael, friend of the program, but it's like, okay, who is the opposite to Michael on the outside? There was nobody internally that was going to take that baton that was ready, right? No developmental prospect. So you seamlessly insert that X receiver with the expectations that he has, and he's playing with a quarterback that we all think is poised for a career year. Like, again, outside of injury, in a pass-happy league for a Cardinal team that, listen, playing some tough teams early on, their defense is going to need to find itself. They're going to have to throw the football a little bit. Like Marvin Harrison Jr., if he is not in the ballpark of 1,200 yards and double-digit touchdowns, I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed. That doesn't mean it can't happen eventually, but there is, unlike certain rookies, right? Like, let's use BJ Ojulari as an example. We think he's going to be a good player. Behind the eight ball last year, was hurt in the offseason, had surgery, came into camp, had to fight his way back into shape, and it took about midseason of his rookie year, right? Marvin is the opposite of that, where everything has been building for him to have a big rookie season. Like, yeah, the mental aspect, the rookie wall, that'll come probably. But the physical part, they have done such a phenomenal job, he and his team, and now the coaching staff in the Arizona Cardinals, to be able to lay everything out in front of him to say, we are almost having a bust-proof type of rookie season where you're going to be able to go in there and produce for us right away. And I can't remember a circumstance in which this has ever been like that for a Cardinal rookie, because how many times we hear it's going to take its time, we're going to take things slow, they're going to start. Every first-round pick under Keim damn near was behind on the depth chart in September and October, and now it's like, no, we don't operate that anymore. Our rookies, especially our first rounders, are going to have a big role early on.
Right. You see Paris Johnson Jr., once the opportunity kind of presented itself, he immediately took over what the organization believed was his future, right? As the franchise left tackle. They didn't, really kind of delay at all. Sure, he played right tackle every snap last season, but they had a starting left tackle in place in DJ Humphries. And once that was gone, the Arizona Cardinals did not hesitate to put Paris Johnson Jr. in that position. And as you mentioned with BJ Ojulari and the other players in last year's rookie class, I mean,
yeah,
there was no red shirt seasons for those guys. They immediately had expectations to play, and this organization doesn't shy away from and aren't going to delay the inevitable with these guys. Like they have identified a lot of players that can contribute in a big way right away. Marvin Harrison Jr. is absolutely that. Here's where I'll disagree. I think that as far as like the big gaudy, like first year stats that we've seen from a Jamar Chase, over 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, that's absolutely absurd season that he had. Not to say that Marvin Harrison Jr. isn't capable of that. I think in a weird way, Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a victim of the system. I think that the Arizona Cardinals actually have a better offensive infrastructure that can, in a way, like kind of Dean Smith holding Michael Jordan in college under 20 points, right? To the betterment of the team, where Jamar Chase was an absolute necessity that he be a guy out there and be Joe Burrow's number one receiver. And they had a rapport from the college ranks at LSU playing together. Joe Burrow finding Chase for 20 touchdowns in their national championship season, and like Justin Jefferson having to emerge for the Vikings, where they weren't like the Vikings offense of old with Adrian Peterson. Like they were a passing offense with Kirk Cousins, and so was Joe Burrow and the Bengals, where I think that this team will have the luxury of not having to lean on Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, is he going to have games where he's going to have double-digit targets that are going to approach 12, maybe 14 targets, and he's going to haul in most of those? But he's going to have the luxury of playing alongside Trey McBride, as you mentioned, Michael Wilson, and then the guy that's slept on a lot, Greg Dortch. And then, of course, that stout run offense. I just think that they won't have to have Marvin Harrison Jr. put up, just Superman numbers year one, even though I agree. I think he's capable of doing it.
Well, Kyler Murray, if you were to guess how many times last year in his games, I'm going to put you on the spot. In his games played last year, he played 8 games. How many times did he have over 30 attempts last year under Drew Petzing's offense? If you had to guess on the surface?
Man, that's a good question. He definitely didn't have it in Pittsburgh. I would say twice.
0.
Whoa.
Kyler Murray had 0 30-plus attempt outings last year. The only game in which he eclipsed even 26 was against the Rams. He had 27. Well, why was that? Because they were playing from behind. Same thing, 26 attempts against San Francisco, 24 attempts against the Chicago Bears. In wins against Philadelphia, Atlanta, and, of course, Pittsburgh, he averaged just at 20 attempts per game. Philadelphia, he threw the most at 25. Pittsburgh and Atlanta, he was both under 20 for each of those games. So Kyler Murray, no 30 passing attempt games last year. So I think, to your point, if Marvin takes up, no, I botched that whole thing, by the way. I meant completions. He had over 30 attempts, but completions, he was under 30 in every game last year. So Damon, your boy botched that whole thing.
Damon, put on your camera. You're in. Johnny, you're on the bench. How many times?
He had no 30 completion games, but he was over 30 a good amount. So your boy was looking at the wrong column here. The coffee hasn't digested for your boy. But the point still stands, by the way. They don't want to be a throwing team first. And I understand that. But here's the thing. Marvin Harrison Jr. allows them to operate differently, where there has to be a sense of urgency, I think, in some of these early games, like the 2-minute drill last year with Kyler Murray and the offense that was available. I think at times it was like, okay, we're going to play field position. Well, now you don't have to do that, right? Now you, with even somebody like Zay Jones in the slot, with Greg Dortch and Michael Wilson and Trey McBride, I think Elijah Higgins looks fantastic during OTAs. Have you seen pictures? I mean, you've seen him up close. Elijah Higgins looks tremendous. Their vertical passing attack right now for the Arizona Cardinals is leaps and bounds better. So I do think there will be a temptation to push the envelope with Marvin Harrison Jr. and company, whereas last year it was like, okay, we don't want to risk something happening. We're going to kneel the football down. We're going to come out. We're going to run the football. We're going to try to play sound defense. But now you're in a position with Marvin where, okay, let's take the hood or the cover off the sports car and maybe increase our capacity here on the highway. But I'm with you. I would be disappointed if we're talking about 1,100 or not talking about 1,100 yards. I think that's the baseline for him.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, I'm talking like Jefferson and Chase, which I really do think that's where you can point to those prospects in their first years where they're both over 1,400 yards, but he's not going to have to do that. Hopefully not, where they're continually, chasing 2 touchdown leads or trailing 2 scores. And he's going to have to go in there and you're throwing, first and second down, where the Arizona Cardinals, we know what they want to do. Even when we've seen them in those positions, they still are just so, headstrong as far as establishing the run. And man, are they equipped to do so? That it's going to benefit Marvin Harrison even more so because, maybe they come up a little bit. Defenses come up to slow down James Conner, Trey Benson in crew, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is facing a little bit softer coverages, which would be fantastic.
So for those wondering, Marvin Harrison Jr.'s jersey is not available through the team site yet. So we had a lot of people ask today, like, am I going to be able to purchase it? Can I go down to the team store? I think the team will probably make that announcement. Like I think a lot of people would go to the Cardinal team store tomorrow or this weekend to buy his jersey. So I haven't heard of anything in terms of his jersey being made available. Like I think Nike and Dick's both had kind of placeholders on their website. But I mean, I would imagine, Bo, the team will tweet something out when they become available. And then it's going to be kind of what I think
it's Fanatics will probably have the first opportunity at it.
Let me ask you this. So he signed his NFLPA deal, but did he resolve his suit with Fanatics? Is that a part of it? Or can you sign your NFLPA deal while still being in a lawsuit with Fanatics?
Yeah, I'm sure the lawsuit doesn't go anywhere. Hopefully it gives hopefully Fanatics and Michael Rubin, they'll decide to maybe drop the lawsuit. But
yeah,
just the language that Ian Rappaport said was in the contract was that he now, becomes a part of the NFLPA and his jersey's available. So it's good news for Cardinals fans who are going to want to rep his jersey. And there's so many of them, especially in the chat. Johnny, I know you're probably going to get your hands on one. I'm going to get my kid one for sure. And everybody's going to have those 18s.
that you couldn't even sound genuine. First of all, I have a 9-year-old. I'm going to buy my 9-year-old a jersey. But yeah, I love Bo loops me in with the children. Hey, all the 12-year-olds get in line. And Johnny, who's a 36-year-old man, get your Marvin jerseys. There are more of us than there are of you, Bo Brock. God, you're such a jackass. I knew exactly what you were doing with that.
I didn't want it. I wasn't trying to.
I'm going to clip that. Johnny, I know you're going to get a jersey. I'm going to get one for my son. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah.
My son's going to be 3 next month. So, one and the same.
I'm checking Fanatics website now. They got nothing as of now. So again, would love it if the team store made that available. People pop out to Glendale this weekend. That'd be fun. What else is fun is we're going to lead the show with this today. So in the ballpark, in the same category of what's Marvin's stats, there was an article on ESPN, and you know how we feel about ESPN here. What are you laughing at? The comments?
This is Rudy's comment. Yeah, Rudy's saying Bo's going to wear one in the dark room, secret away from us.
So ESPN, we don't love their power rankings.
Honey, what are you doing in there? Leave me alone. I'm in my room by myself.
We were questions.
Don't bother me.
Is everybody defaulting to the icy whites with MHJ? I've seen a lot of people going with the whites. I think I'm going to get my son the black one because his most recent one was a K1 icy white, and he gets man, oh man, as a 9-year-old does, he gets stains all over that. My wife constantly stain spraying his jerseys, so we're gonna go with the black, play it safe. But I anxious
all those barbecue dogs that he's got, all those
absolutely.
Barbecue glizzies that you got.
He's ketchup guy, mac and cheese, that kind of thing on his Dino Nuggets. But everybody let us know what color jersey you're going Marv in the chat, because I know everybody here, we got 273 like this video watching now. I would venture to say at least 200 plus people are buying a Marvin jersey in this chat right now. I would be disappointed if you guys weren't buying Marvin jerseys, frankly.
Yeah. And I hope I don't get banned from this, from having jersey conversations, because I can appreciate a damn good jersey. And all 3 of them are with Marv. When they unveiled the new jerseys last spring, spring of 2023, I thought that the black alternates were being slept on because they are kind of the same design. They are just as clean as the icy whites.
Yeah.
They don't wear them as much and they're not on display as much. I really do like the black jersey.
I like it.
The home red. Like, I'm going to probably get the white because I got my son the home red Kyler jersey. So I'll probably get the icy white.
I bet that the black is popular in part because Ohio State reps a black jersey that looks almost identical. Like that was the joke last year. The Cardinals literally, they in a span of a year. So we were invited to the uniform unveiling last year, and everybody said these look like Ohio State uniforms, and they do, which is fine. They're awesome. And then they draft Paris from Ohio State, and then they draft Marvin from Ohio State. So, I don't think that's a big coincidence, and I think Ohio State's favored to win the national championship this year. So, good mojo, at least from the college ranks. But yeah, I'm a fan of the black jersey. Rudy's saying I won't let my kid near the icy white. Too many stains, absolutely. So, the black does a better job hiding those stains. Green Guy Castro saying red 18 is going to hit. I love the red jersey. I think the people have issue with the red uniform because it's the red pants. And I would venture to say, and we're going to have to ask somebody this at some point, when are they going to switch to the white pants with the red jerseys? I think I wouldn't be surprised if that's coming at some point this year. I have no insight on that, but that's an easy tweak that they could make, or they can kind of mix and match. But as long as Marvin Harrison Jr. is wearing a Cardinal jersey of any kind, it's a good day to be a Cardinal fan. All right. So ESPN, whom we loathe because of their power rankings, they did put out a rookie kind of statistical prediction. And this is for the entire rookie class. Who's going to be top 5 in every statistical category? So sacks, interceptions, receiving yards, passing touchdowns. And then, man, oh man, the Arizona Cardinals were littered throughout this list. And again, It's not just MHJ. Let's get to the graphic now if we could, Damon. Yeah, Marvin's predicted to have the best rookie receiving season. 1,100 yards, 1,121 yards to be exact, 6 touchdowns. But then you look at these other names. Max Melton's in the top 5 for both tackles and picks. Darius Robinson, I think, was second in sacks. And then Trey Benson was second for running backs, third overall behind Jaden Daniels for rushing yards. And so I look at this and I'm like, if they get this kind of contribution from their rookie class and these 4 players, this is an all-time class, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, your first 4 picks, and they're putting up, borderline, I think 3 out of 4 starter numbers. And then Trey Benson, you would assume that they're factoring in that James Conner is going to miss time like he inevitably does. 500 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. I mean, if he sees 4 starts, that's pretty damn productive. And then the rest is just kind of supplemented there as backing up James Conner, who's going to be your bell cow when he's healthy. And then Marv's stats, I mean, I think that's probably just the floor there. I think that you go up and you probably approach 1,200. I would say, like, just how big he is and how big of a red zone threat he's going to be. 8 to 10 touchdowns is more realistic for Marvin Harrison Jr. If we're looking back and he's got 6, was he utilized correctly? I mean, I don't want to have those debates right now, but I think that these are just the lower end of the spectrum as far as what he could put up. And then you love to see Darius Robinson, put up over 5 sacks in his first season. And then Max Melton, a tackling machine and a guy that gets his hand on a football, hopefully close to 2, as they're just averaging that out.
And this is from Mr. Mike Clay, who does a nice job for ESPN, has no agenda that I've seen. He's got Marvin number 1 in receiving yards and tied for first for receiving touchdowns. Max Melton 5th in all rookies for tackles. And then he also has Melton 4th in interceptions, just behind Terrion Arnold. And then he's got 2 safeties ahead of both players. So basically second for cornerbacks and picks. And then Darius Robinson is the only player, along with Latu, Indianapolis Colts, to have over 5 sacks as a rookie. Now, I don't know if that speaks to, how underwhelmed a lot of people were with this defensive line class. But if Darius Robinson has 5 sacks this year as a rookie, and he's playing all over the defensive line, that becomes, just like MHJ, his floor. And then you're talking about a guy that should reach consistently 7, 8, 9, maybe double-digit sacks at some point, depending on if he's playing the 5 or the 3 or the 1. He told us, at Super Bowl week, he can play any position. Mm-hmm. I mean, you get 5.5 sacks or 6 sacks from Darius Robinson. That means B.J. Ojulari's having a good year, in my opinion. That means David Collins is getting his. It's a well-rounded group, especially, Dante Stills gave you some production. So the only one that I think, Trey Benson, to me, I think he has more than 3 touchdowns. I think he has probably closer to 5 or 6 touchdowns. If he is the, kind of the heir apparent to James Conner and they're rotating possessions, maybe in the red zone toward the end of the year, I actually think Marvin's touchdowns could be lower for reasons you outlined earlier, because of how the Cardinals want to play football. I think the yardage is going to be there, but I think I would be surprised. I mean, DeMercado had 3 touchdowns last year. I think Trey Benson gets closer to 5 or 6 touchdowns, in my opinion.
Yeah, if the starting opportunity is there we're just going to throw in a short IR stint for James Conner, which is, it's crazy. But if you
no one's rooting for that.
If you look at the stats, I mean, he usually is right around 13, 14 games per season. That would present the opportunity for Benson to really rack up some carries in his rookie year and approach those numbers. But those are pretty damn good numbers for a guy who's going to be a complementary piece, where with Michael Carter and in the mix as well as the kind of mix up back. So seeing a lot of crazy stat predictions in the chat as well. But I mean,
that Max Melton one though gets me excited, because a lot of people were underwhelmed with that pick. I didn't see Kool-Aid McKinstry on that list making tackles. I didn't see Cooper DeJean on that list. It was Terrion Arnold and Max Melton.
It was scrolling down the list, and it seemed like each and every category had another Cardinal in the mix, and that's what you love to see. That's something that we've been robbed of for over a decade. You'd be lucky if one guy showed up on any list. What's the expectations year one? And his name was usually Kyler Murray, or before and after that, not much, right? So this is a welcome change for the Arizona Cardinals in being recognized as guys that are going to make heavy contributions year one, and then we're not even talking about the other pieces that kind of fill in the holes and are glue guys for the rest of this team. The Tip Rymans, the Elijah Jones, the Rabbit Taylor Demersons, who are going to see snaps this season, probably in at least two phases and be able to make an impact. It's fantastic, because it used to be like, okay, maybe you get a decent first round pick. That was a big if, maybe a single. But you were really, it was lottery tickets the rest of the way. And that's not the case here with Monti Ossenfort.
I wonder if there's a comfort level too with like a Clay when he's putting this list together and he goes back and he says, yeah, Cardinals were undermanned last year. They played a lot of rookies, but they developed a lot. Paris, Michael Wilson, Garrett Williams looks fantastic during OTAs, making dive-in interceptions. Dante Stills, I mentioned. These are guys that all played a role last year and got better as the season went on. So it's probably easier to project. I mean, the only player like that's ahead of Trey Benson is Jonathan Brooks in both yards and touchdowns, because he's the unquestioned guy in Carolina. Mm-hmm. So if you remove him from the equation, the Cardinals have the top back, the top receiver, the number 2 corner, and the number 2 pass rusher. I mean, and we're discounting then the rest of the group and their contributions. Does Isaiah Adams see time as a starting left guard eventually? You mentioned Rabbit, some of these developmental corners, right? Mm-hmm. So then the pass rusher from Clemson. This is a rookie class that, hell, if you have 12 picks, you need to hit on some of them, but very, very optimistic early on, and even more optimistic that Marv signed his contract, is ready to rock and roll. Bo, I know you want to talk about the money aspect, what the Cardinals are not going to pay Marvin compared to what some of the other receivers, veteran receivers, are making in the NFL. But before we get to that, I want to talk to you about your money, everybody here in the chat, watching at home. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you need financial solutions to help make your financial acumen better, look no further than our friends at Desert Financial Credit Union. That's because for more than 84 years, Desert Financial has been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union, dedicating to creating exceptional experiences by giving back to the community and making financial solutions that help ensure your lives are better off. Everybody out there, check them out. They've got savings, checking accounts, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and more. It's your one-stop shop. It's not a place that's just going to be a transaction. It's going to be a financial commitment to help you all achieve your financial goals and dreams. And on top of that, rep the Arizona Cardinals in the Red Sea with the Arizona Cardinal Visa debit card. Show your team spirit. Open up a free checking account online. Takes a matter of minutes. I have one. It's fantastic. Debit cards in the mail a couple days after the fact. DesertFinancial.com/Cardinals, Bo, to get started.
I want to wish a happy birthday to our guy Plex in the chat. See this up here. I think it was a super chat. Yeah, let's throw this one up here. It's my B-Day. Love the show and the work you three put in. Thank you, Plex. Happy birthday, and pop a couple complimentary or birthday OGs. OGs the perfect way to celebrate your birthday, and some of that money you're going to get from some friends and some family. Just pop it into your Desert Financial checking account, savings account. But OGs, it's a perfect compliment for any scenario, any, I guess, experience you're looking for. It's the birthday gummy, or if it's just looking to sit down and project some Marvin Harrison Jr. rookie stats. I mean, I see a couple of you in the chat have already popped a bunch of OGs with the 21 touchdowns and the 2,000 yards in year one. That might be too many OGs, but I don't know if that's possible. OGs is always going to tailor their cannabis gummy to what experience you're seeking out. Check out their full product line. Figure out if you like the fruits, if you like the creams, if you like maybe the happy balance. They got something for everyone. Check it out, ogsbrands.com. That's OGEEZ brands.com. Got to be 21 years or older. You can find them in your local dispensary, and of course, follow them on your socials as well at OG's Brands. OG's, our favorite cannabis kitchen.
Absolutely. Our favorites in the chat, the super chats. Drop a like on this video, by the way. How about this? He's regained the crown. It's Cardi D, first comment king. Just a super sticker. We love you, Cardi D. We appreciate you, my guy.
Judges,
we're down.
$1 super sticker.
I think that counts. Absolutely. And then he came back a little bit later on this afternoon. He collected himself, submitted a $2 super chat. My mind is on Miami PHNX takeover, Bird Gang. Let's go. Absolutely, Cardi D. Can't wait to party with you. Hollywood Beach. ready for Miami, hosting the Arizona Cardinals. We're hosting all of you. We got the package out right now with True Fan Travel. We're fired up. We're going to talk about that later in the show. More details every single day. Just more opportunity to have a great time this October. Thank you so much, Cardi D. Can't wait to meet you, my friend, and hang out with you down in South Beach. How about Schlemenschlag, Bo, is back today. $4.99. Damon Cat is all meow, no bark. Oh, all I know who the real king of Miami is. Can't wait for Bronny and Blow to find my sweet bride. Hashtag PHNX Miami. Wow. How about that, Damon?
Yeah, Bo, if you missed it yesterday, there was a Damon Cat and a Schlemenschlag. So there's kind of a war going on for who's the actual imposter.
Oh man, I love it. I would love to see just this chat littered with Schlemenschlags and Damon Cats and everybody just trying to be the imposter for our. There's only one award-winning producer, and that's the Damon Dawg. But those just trying to be Damon Dawg, they love what they see. They love what they hear. They want to hold the line just like you, Damon.
I just like to say schlag on this show. I apologize. Gannonite, $4.99, 15-year wedding anniversary. Wow. Congratulations, yes. Gannonite. Plus, MHJ inks his deal today, getting that MHJ jersey. So ample. Hey, happy anniversary to you and yours, you and your partner. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time on the anniversary. Hopefully not too much time. You got big dinner plans, maybe a trip. But Gannonite, we appreciate you. And yeah, treat yourself. A little MHJ jersey when it becomes available, Bo.
Was fortunate enough to meet Gannon at our draft party. It was great meeting him in person. I believe also he had his daughter listening to and watching the program during draft season as well. Sophia, if I remember correctly. So Gannonite is you see him on the Twitter streets, you see him here in the chat, you see him in the Discord. Happy wedding anniversary to you and yours, Gannonite. I hope it's a good one, man.
Dylan Richards, he's back. Missed you guys. $4.99. Well, we missed you, Dylan. Still a major friend of the program. Absolutely. I think Monty and crew are a master class. We have a lot to look forward to. MHJ has this fan base on fire. You're absolutely right, Dylan Richards. I put out a tweet today, and the Cardinals put out some nice photos of Ossenfort and Marvin during his signing. And there's one where just a couple of dudes giving each other a hug after the contract signing. And I put this out there. I'm like, we wanted it to happen. Some of us willed it to happen, right? To hold the liners, which we appreciate. But like we've been told so many times, we don't get nice things as Cardinal fans. And you were very cynical during this process. Like, I got to see it to believe it, right? How many times did you tell me that? It doesn't feel real yet. Right. And then Marvin signs his contract today and he's ready for training camp and he's ready for a big rookie year. And it's just like this very special time to be a Cardinal fan where, the last couple of years, let's be honest, been pretty lean. We had people asking us last year, what jerseys should I buy? I just want to support the team. There's nobody eligible to buy that I know is going to be around. Think about that and where they're at now. It's a stark difference, Bo.
Yeah. Go purchase number 18 jersey. That's the answer these days, right? But even this entire process, there hasn't been that opportunity to spike the football. Maybe like right after the line was held, right? And they selected him 4th overall. The pick was in, goes and bro hugs, Goodell, and he's an official member of the Arizona Cardinals. But then it's like, okay, there's the news about the jersey, the NFLPA thing, and it's like you can't truly like wrap your arms around it. But now, it's all over, and it's a done deal. And the Arizona Cardinals have a big time playmaker, Marvin Harrison Jr., and all that's left to do is get him on the playing field and watch him start for this team, and it's fantastic. But it was an interesting road, like as simple as a lot of people think it should be. And congrats to those who were on a lot simpler path than my co-host and myself, like during this trip to selecting Marvin and inserting him into the Arizona Cardinals roster. Like there was just a lot of different things that in hurdles that I think kind of presented themselves. But when you have a player the caliber of Marvin Harrison Jr., people are going to want him. People are going to want the 4th overall pick. And, and obviously with having the star power and the rising star power that Marvin Harrison Jr. has, he had to be a little bit more careful with his brand. And it looks like he got everything ironed out. And now he's ready to fully be embraced by this fan base. People going out there, spend their hard-earned money and wearing his name on their backs and wearing it proudly.
Like anybody who says that this was a foregone conclusion that Marvin was going to be a Cardinal and they were always in a position to get Marvin. Like, there's just too many landmines with this team. There were talk like we had to talk about Caleb Williams on the show last summer, this fall, when this team had one win. So I think the foregone conclusion, my ass, like, took a long way to get here, man. So enjoy it, Cardinal fans. And speaking of enjoying it, Marvin's enjoying that payday, Bo Brock. And again, it's the number one paid receiver in this rookie class. But in relation to, you would assume, his production and in comparison to some of the players that he's going to be compared to this year and beyond, it's a steal of a deal. It's almost like the QB cheat with the rookie contract, but Marvin Harrison Jr., just like a Justin Jefferson once upon a time, you get a player of this caliber, a rookie contract, you're living good if you're Monti Ossenfort.
Yeah, it's the type of move that can just expedite a rebuild and put you right in the thick of things in January, maybe early February, by the benefit of taking advantage of a premium paid position in wide receiver and riding it, deep into the playoffs with you're paying your quarterback a lot of money. That's already a box checked, right? But you've got a left tackle and now a big time playmaker that you can start to kind of forecast is going to be right there, top 15, top 10, top 5 wide receiver, maybe as early as like mid-season.
Yeah.
And you're going to benefit from him making way less than the guys that are at, top wide receivers, but also top earners in this league. I was just kind of checking it out. The salaries at the position, and Devontae Adams inked the most lucrative deal, and he's a top in total monies. And you're seeing AJ Brown, and he signed a big lucrative deal. And Marvin Harrison Jr., like, he's making good money, obviously 4th overall pick, close to $35 million in total. But like total monies, Johnny, he's like top 25, just inside the top 25 as far as that goes. And then as far as just average per year, he's barely inside the top 30. And he's got some real like ham sandwich type wide receivers just ahead of him in the average per year pay scale. It's crazy.
Yeah, let's take a look at the list here. Wide receiver salaries after Marvin Harrison Jr. Dante Johnson ahead of Marvin is gross. If you're a Carolina Panthers fan, you got to throw up in your mouth a little bit. How about Gabe Davis, who consistently disappears for long stretches of the season, $39 million. Daryl Mooney, who I forgot he was number one still in the league and on the Falcons. He's making $39 million. Mike Evans, well-deserved, $41 million. Alan Lazard at $44 million. You might as well just take that money and flush it down the toilet. He was unbelievably bad last year. Jerry Jeudy, who dropped everything in Denver and was basically a non-factor at times, is making $52.5 million.
That's new money. That's new money. Cleveland traded for him and gave him that contract. It's unbelievable.
That's one of the grossest contracts I've ever seen. I mean, it's like, well, let's keep this list up a little bit if we could, Damon. I'm going to tell you right now, this is why you draft top-end receivers. This is why you draft top-end defensive tackles. Because if not, you're overpaying them. Like all these guys ahead of Marvin Harrison Jr. are not on their first contract with their first team, like an extension. Like Gabe Davis, Daryl Mooney, Alan Lazard, Jerry Jeudy, they all played for other teams, right? And all these teams missed on receivers in the draft or didn't have an opportunity to draft an MHJ, and so they had to go out and spend this dumb money. Calvin Ridley making $92 million for the Tennessee Titans. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a better receiver right now today than Calvin Ridley is. And the difference in their contract is almost $60 million. That's insane.
It is insane. It's absolutely just wild. And Donnie making a good point, picking spreads. You can soon add to this list Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, and Jalen Waddle. Waddle's actually below, and so is Chase. And I think Jefferson, just because, like the rookie pay scale increases each and every year. So Marvin Harrison Jr. is making on average more money than Chase and Waddle, who were also top 10 picks in their own right. But yeah, those guys are going to eclipse Marv. And then Marv can start to make, Adams, Amon-Ra money, Tyreek Hill money, probably as early as his second deal. And he'll be eligible to sign that after his third full season in the league. But until then, until he's done playing his 5th year option, which, you can forecast right now, the Arizona Cardinals are more than likely to pick up, barring anything, unfortunate. Yeah, just pick it up right now. They're getting a steal. They're getting an absolute steal. Like, you start looking at, those bottom feeders like Alan Lazard, or guys that just sign deals this offseason, as you mentioned, Darnell Mooney and Gabe Davis. I mean, you pit Marvin Harrison Jr. Like Marvin Harrison Jr. absolutely is better than those guys. You could start pitting Michael Wilson in his 3rd round wide receiver contract against those guys too. And I take Michael Wilson over those guys.
Okay, so I'm not going to flub this up. Let's do guess stats again. I want you to try to guess Alan Lazard's stat line from last year with the Jets. Now, no Aaron Rodgers, who is the advocate to bring him here. He was an undrafted free agent back in 2018. So I'm not making fun of him. He's made his money, but just take a guess what the Jets, as you know now, are paying him. What was his stat line last year?
I think in place of stats, there's just poop emojis.
23 catches, 311 yards, 1 touchdown for Alan Lazard last year.
It's bad.
And wasn't he healthy? Like, there's just a complete disaster. Couldn't separate, couldn't move.
He was missing for, I think, a couple. They were looking for him. They couldn't find him on game days.
We did a fun little skit yesterday where Damon and I took a bunch of comparable receivers for Marvin in terms of production. And who would you rather have? And it's interesting. Like, a lot of those names on this list, you'd obviously rather have than Marvin. We're already comparing, having not played it down in the NFL yet, Marvin to AJ Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake Londons of the world. Like, he's in that category of these either ascending players or the guys like, who would you rather have next year, Marvin or Davante Adams? I would rather have Marvin than Davante Adams, who's a descending player. So
yeah,
I think we're going to get to a point, probably, I would hope by Thanksgiving this year, where it's like unquestionably Marvin's a top 10 receiver in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, still has a lot to prove. Like, to say like it's easy you would take him over Davante. I know there's so many variables that play into it, and that's
just older.
The Cardinals would absolutely love to bet on the guy that they've got locked in for this steal of a deal for the next 4 to 5 years than having to pay a wide receiver $25-30 million like Davante Adams is paid. And that he's in his year 30 now, 31. So
he's 31.
Right. And develop that rapport with Kyler Murray, no doubt about it. But there are things that Davante Adams has done in this league that, I'd love to see Marvin Harrison Jr. do, but he still got to prove it to reach that level. Like, I don't want to disrespect Davante Adams, but I understand the variables that are at play, why you would say that.
I'll disrespect him, no problem. Speaking of disrespect, how about this? Merv busting a move, $5 super chat. Sources, Johnny Venerable, Illinois State, that is my alma mater, will skip the National Chugging League Combine to prep for the NCL 999 Challenge. He met with 2 breweries. I can neither confirm nor deny that. Merv put a smear campaign on the Twitter streets.
It's phenomenal.
For your boy the other day. I refused to retweet it, Merv, because right now I'm locked in. I'm tuning out all the outside noise. I'm doing what Marvin did during the draft process. I'm focused at the task at hand. So I can't confirm or deny this report, Merv.
That's really, I can't believe that you would not retweet that. Actually, I'm going to go make sure I retweet it right now.
Let's not.
We're going to get it while we're doing the show, because it was such phenomenal work from our guy Marv. Johnny is like the Bronny James of the combine. He had a horrible season. He averaged like 1.5 points per game, and he's going to sit out the combine and all that stuff. Well, good luck, Johnny.
Yeah, I'm in an undrafted free agent position right now for sure. Damon Cat, look at this avatar, $1.99. Oh, really? Okay, Schleiman, I will expose the fraud. How about that? Look at that photo of Damon Cat.
Damon's, it's I don't know how they come up with these and what software they use to smush and pull the faces, but well done. It's clearly the same person, by the way.
Blow Brock's back, $1.99. I like to believe it's not. I don't know who Schleiman is, but I am not the father. Wow. Okay. When we get Maury Povich on this show, he may beg to differ. How about this? Pick and Spreads Donnie, $2 friend of the program. Y'all think MHJ will get the NFLPA thing done soon? It is done. Donnie, he supposedly, according to Rap Sheet, signed his NFLPA deal. So he can start producing. They can start producing number 18 jerseys, and he can be in Madden, amongst other things. It's done. We don't know if the Fanatics suit has been dropped or not, but Marvin is locked in for everything he needs to be to have a profitable season on and off the field.
You want him to come to your fancy parties and all that stuff. Drop the suit. Let's just get on. Let's let everybody get on with their lives. It was a bad deal for Marvin. He's going to be well worth more than that. Fanatics going to press him for that. They're going to subpoena whatever they want to do. Like, let's just drop it. You want one of the best wide receivers to show up one of your parties with Tom Brady and Jay-Z and all that, and Devin Booker. Drop the suit if you ever want that to potentially happen.
Also, like Twitter's not real life. I know that, but 100% of the support I see whenever those tweets come up is F Fanatics. We don't like Fanatics. Go Marvin. They've been very pro Marvin Harrison Jr. And again, I'm not going to pretend to know all the details, but yeah, I would think if he didn't like the deal, it's mutual parting of ways. I think would be a good decision. I think a good decision for all of you is to join America's Thirst Stop. We talk about Marvin partying with Fanatics potentially. That's the opposite of what we should do with our friends at Circle K. You got to get hooked up right now, become a member of the Inner Circle. One of the best financial decisions you can make if you're into saving gas. Right now, it is hot as all hell in Arizona. And I want to save gas when I can because I don't want to be stuck in rural Arizona with an empty tank. And so, number one, I'm going to go inside. I'm going to get myself a 79-cent Polar Popper Froster right now through September 3rd. But I got to be a member of the Inner Circle. And then I'm going to go and fill up and save 25 cents per gallon on my first 5 fill-ups, plus 3 cents per gallon every single day. So no matter what you need, go inside. Every 6th snack is free of the local Circle K exclusive snacks. And then again, you're getting a Polar Popper Froster, 79 cents, and then you're getting cheap gas. I don't know what more you want. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want anything more because this is everything you need and more. Find it today under the app. Inner Circle -offers. I was at Circle K earlier today. I went inside, picked up a bunch of goodies, went outside, and paid a fraction of the cost for gas compared to the competitors. Join the Inner Circle for free today by downloading the Circle K app. Terms and conditions apply. At participating locations, visit circlek.com, Bo, for more details.
The Circle K, the training grounds of our Johnny Venerable. It's where he gets his training glizzies these days. It's where you get a couple dogs. You prepare for the 999 challenge. We're excited about it. Also excited about Memorial Day weekend. How about getting out there Sunday, Monday on the grill? What are we throwing on the grill? We're going to throw some chicken breasts, maybe some nice steaks, a filet, maybe New York strip. What's your favorite cut of meat, Johnny? What do you like to leave? Like
I like a burger patty. I just like a burger patty, and then maybe some
What
dog.
an insane answer!
It really is. It threw me for a loop, Damon.
I like chicken nuggets. I like chicken nuggets.
What's your favorite cut of meat? I'm just in the mood. I've just been dabbling on hamburgers lately. Why is that a funny answer? You want me to say like a 12-ounce ribeye? Because then everybody's going to call BS because I didn't finish my ribeye in Indianapolis. Look at the picture and advertisement for Butcher Box. There are hamburgers in the description. I'm allowed to say hamburger. Throw a patty on my grill. Come on now. Get it together, Brack.
What are you like? Are you perpetually on Atkins diet? Like you're going to sit there, burger in a bun? I'd like, hey, how do you like your steak? I'd like it a hamburger, please.
That's not what you asked me.
If you could just grind it up.
Cut of meat, give me a hamburger right now.
Can you just take that nice filet or the ribeye, the T-bone? Can you just put it through a grinder, turn it into a patty, and just grill it up?
I'm a red-blooded American. I just want a nice burger, on this holiday weekend. Not try to be a fancy boy, getting a ribeye. Thank you. A lot of people are saying they default to burgers too.
When the choice is steak, when the choice is steak,
I don't know. I think people are feeling just, hey, let's go out and cook. I don't want to wait 45 minutes for my steak. Thank you.
I'll take a ribeye, Bo.
Yeah. Thank you, Damon. Thank you for being
put that on the grill for me.
Take the ribeye. How do you like it cooked? With a flashlight, please. It needs to be bleeding and mooing still, or a little bit more, maybe medium rare. But look, if you like a burger, they've got great burgers. It's grass-fed beef with Butcher Box, and it's convenient. It's going to be dropped right on your doorstep. You just customize your box online, butcherbox.com. Use the /PHNX. Use the code PHNX as well. get that exclusive offer, some free meat, and $20 off your first box. Use that link today, butcherbox.com/PHNX, and use the code PHNX to receive this exclusive offer today before time runs out and you've got no burgers on your grill.
I love that every day the show has just become, in the off season, let's question Johnny's manhood every day at 4:30 on PHNX Cardinals. One of my favorite things to do. Now, I appreciate all of you. Let's get back to some super chats here that have gone completely off the rail. Joe Sniff on an Ader Biden saying hello. What's up, Joe? Hello. And then he gives us another $5. I'm the only one who watched old Cardinal games during the offseason. Am I? No, I mean, like, how far do you go back, though? Like, I can't watch, like, I'll watch 08, 09. I'll watch peak, Palmer Arians, and then, the most recent seasons. Like, it is tough for me, Joe Biden, to watch, like, peak Cliff Kingsbury because I know how that car crash ended. It didn't end well.
Yeah, even when you watch, like, the Hail Murray game, which will surface on NFL Network every once in a while, like, it was a tough game to watch at times. But yeah, like, you also, if you're a glutton for punishment, the Super Bowl that was on recently, you're not the only one.
What's the most rewatchable game for everybody in the chat? Do you have one that's the most rewatchable?
Like recently or like within the last, like,
if you had to say, like, the one that you've rewatched the most, like, historically. Putting you on the spot.
Yeah, the NFC Championship game against Philly.
Yeah,
that's just a great game. The flea flicker from Warner to Fitz. The game, the divisional round against the Packers, where Aaron Rodgers was a horror villain, where he just kept coming back from the dead, and he threw back. He completed 2 Hail Marys in that game, and they go to overtime, and it's 75 yards to Fitz. Is there anything under the radar in like regular season game? I'm trying to think.
I'll tell you one semi-recently that I watched was the Tennessee game, the opener from 2021. I watched that one constantly. The 5-touchdown game for Kyler Murray and the 5 or 6 sack game for Chandler Jones. They just destroyed the Titans that game. I watched that a lot, and then the opener against San Francisco in 2020, the first game of D-Hop after the Niners went to the Super Bowl. Cardinals beat them in the opener. Like, those are ones that obviously the seasons didn't end well in both those instances, but they started off really well. So I watched those a ton.
Yeah. Some great games in there. No doubt about it. They had a couple games on they were replaying from this past season. I wouldn't mind rewatching Kyler's debut from this past season. I want to maybe put on the all-22 from that. But
this past season, I probably watched Philadelphia more than anything.
Philly, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just a domination. I love that game. So,
yeah, it's fired up. People are giving me shit because my phone went off. Listen, I have a new computer, and I don't know. My phone is silent, but then, my phone goes through my computer, so I'm still trying to figure that out, everyone. We're fired up here on a football podcast. A couple more super chats. Donnie's back. $2 throwing more shade at your boy Johnny, that one dude to eat mustard with his steak. First of all, I don't like mustard. And secondly, like, for the most part, like, I'm an A1 steak sauce kind of guy. Like, that's my default, right? I don't eat ketchup with my steak. Somebody said tartar sauce in the chat. Like, no, come on. I'm a normal guy. I like steak sauce with my steak.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a good piece of meat, you don't really need the A1 stuff.
I knew that was coming from you. You were going to say, just like, I just eat it raw dog. Shane Diefengock, $1.99. Bo, which rookies still need to sign their contract?
Darius Robinson, 27th overall. Trey Benson, 66th overall. And then Adrian Rabbit, Taylor Demerson. And then you'll have the full class signed. Yeah, just 3 guys remain unsigned. 9 out of 12 already under contract. So on their way.
So we talked about some of our favorite games. What about some of our favorite seasons for Arizona Cardinal fans? So we missed this because it happened, I think, last weekend. But David Johnson retired officially from the NFL. He's been out of the league for about, 2 years or so. And again, like,
the league retired him. Yeah.
Yes. And he attempted to make a comeback, was never really the same after that knee injury in the finale against the Rams. But man, oh man, like, peak David Johnson in Arizona was the best it got for an Arizona Cardinal running back. Like, his 2-year stretch of 2015, 2016 seasons I have not been matched. I don't know if they'll ever be matched, especially from a touchdown volume standpoint, Bo.
Yeah. I don't know if you can find a better performance, like single season performance, than what we saw from 2016 David Johnson. Here it is, 293 attempts for 1,200 yards, 16 rushing touchdowns, 80 catches for 879, 4 receiving touchdowns. So 20 total touchdowns from David Johnson. He was third in Offensive Player of the Year award. I think only Aaron Rodgers was ahead of him, and maybe Matt Ryan might have been ahead of him in the Offensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, I mean, he got some faux award like Fantasy Player of the Year, but
yeah,
I mean, like the Cardinals were like a victim of 2016 not going well, so he wasn't in a position to win a bunch of accolades. But at the same time, like he probably gets to 1,000 and 1,000. Like I know in the finale against the Rams, before he got hurt, like the Cardinals were going to make it a priority to try to get him like 121 receiving yards to get him over 1,000. Like they had talked about that, like, and you see that from a lot of teams. Like this past year, the Cardinals got James Conner enough touches in the finale, albeit rushing, to get him over 1,000 yards. Like the big question was, could they get him 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving in the same season, which would have been fantastic. But I mean, yeah, that 2016 season won a lot of people fantasy titles. I remember the 4 touchdown game against Seattle, also a big game that night for our guy Britton Golden. But like in comparison to that, are there any other seasons that stick out for you historically for the Arizona Cardinals? That's number one unequivocally for a running back. Like there's nothing even comparable outside of some, Otis Anderson seasons and like the late 80s. He was fantastic, but like the volume of production from David Johnson.
I think it hurt him. Don't you think all those touches hurt him? I mean,
no doubt.
I mean, he never was the same. I know people pointing to the wrist injury that he suffered, in the season opener next season, but like talking about a running back, I don't think it was a wrist injury that really derailed his career. It's just the mileage he put on his legs. He was returning kicks the previous season, and it was a committee, so he eased into things 2015, his rookie year.
Yeah.
Then, man, the BA and those guys lean on him, and they absolutely had to. But I think at the end of the day, like it was just too much wear and tear for the guy. Signs the big contract extension, and really that's it. And then he gets flipped in the deal for DeAndre Hopkins. The year before I mentioned 2015. How about Carson Palmer? Closest thing I think the Cardinals had to a most valuable player. Carson Palmer, 2015 season, 4,671 passing yards, almost a 64% completion percentage, 35 touchdowns, 11 picks. MVP, finished second only to Cam Newton. That Carolina team lost only one game. They beat the Cardinals in the NFC Championship game and then lost the Broncos in the Super Bowl.
To me, this is the MVP season for the Cardinals. That wasn't, and it was Cam Newton who took it. They were the number 1 seed that year. The number that stands out to me is the 11 picks. Like Carson, just 2 years before, had thrown 20 plus interceptions under Bruce Arians, and then this is also coming off a torn ACL, as you mentioned. So it just unbelievable. C-Palm, the deep ball. We talk about John Brown, of course, Michael Floyd, Larry Fitzgerald. Like I think Kyler Murray has a chance to exceed this one day. I think there's people that are skeptical. I think this is very much in Kyler's wheelhouse. It's there to be had, right? And those were only 16 game seasons, but I mean the Cardinals.
He averaged 290 plus yards passing in a game each game. Like there was 16 games, as you mentioned.
They were passing
291. It was insane. And then like the only other quarterback, I mean, Kurt Warner had some great season, but then you look at the total touchdowns. Kyler Murray did have a season where he actually clipped 35 touchdowns, but Palmer had. He had 36 here in 2020.
Yeah.
And at Kyler's season, because not only did he have 26 passing touchdowns, he had 11 rushing touchdowns. Kyler Murray did. That completion percentage in Cliff's offense, a lot of balls behind the line of scrimmage, but 67.2%, 26. And then, like you said, with Palmer, only 11 picks. Kyler only threw 12 picks and those 819 rushing yards, Johnny. And I like this little addition here from Damon, Dawg. Look at that game-winning drive at the bottom there. He had 4 game-winning drives. Good? That's pretty damn good in a season that he almost hit 4,000 yards passing, 39.71.
Well, and he missed time. He missed the finale, right? And he was banged up at the end of the year. And so, Yeah, the rushing TDs, I don't know if we'll ever see 11 from Kyler again. I think it was up to him. He would rather have 11 more passing touchdowns, but the efficiency was insane. Kyler was on pace, by the way, to break all this in 2021 before he went down late in, I think, October, November, and he missed time. But, I mean, people forget, like, this is under Cliff Kingsbury with D-Hop and, Christian Kirk, who we like, but, like, this is, I think, very doable for him, minus the rushing touchdowns this year. Like, if Kyler Murray had 26 touchdowns this year, I think we'd be disappointed. I think this is going to be his first year of 30 passing touchdowns. And somebody that knows a lot about receiving touchdowns, Mr. Larry Fitzgerald. What was Fitz's best year? Coincidentally, or not so much, it was 2008, the Super Bowl season, and the postseason included. Larry Fitzgerald was on a different level just 4 years after the Arizona Cardinals drafted him. How about these numbers right here? 126 receptions, back when nobody caught 100 balls, 19 touchdowns, including the postseason, 1,977 yards, including the postseason, almost 16 yards per clip, and then, of course, an all-pro season. The greatest postseason in the history of any receiver that I don't know if it'll ever be broken, en route to the Super Bowl. 2008 for Larry not only is the best receiver season in the history of this franchise, it's top 3 to 5 best seasons ever. It's probably top 3.
Yeah, it was. He had 1,400 yards that season and 12 touchdowns, and then you add the 7 postseason touchdowns on their way to the Super Bowl, including at the time the go-ahead score against Pittsburgh before allegedly Santonio Holmes toe tapped to regain the lead. But Larry Fitzgerald here, like, people will point to David Boston having over close to 1,600 yards. That's the franchise record for receiving yards in a season. But this is the GOAT season here for a Cardinals receiver. But, like, what's crazy is his regular season stats. I mentioned Jamar Chase's rookie year eclipsed the best year Larry Fitz has ever happened in his rookie year, which is insane.
These postseason stats are unreal to look at. When I was putting this graphic together, like, I was just like checking on the stats to make sure I got them all correct on like Football Reference, and I was like, oh, this isn't even close to Larry's stats. And then I looked at the postseason stats, and I was like, good Lord, he had like 500 yards and 7 touchdowns in just the postseason alone. Like, the guy was just such an unreal playoff performer in particular.
It wasn't like dink and dunk. He was just making huge play after huge play that postseason, that playoffs. It's one of the best runs you'll ever see.
Not to be ignored, one of the most slept on seasons because it came in just a horrific nightmare of a campaign. Or I don't want to say that. It was a year after that, but it's still in a losing season effort. 2019 Chandler Jones on a Cardinal defense that was 28th in total defense. Not 20th, 28th in total defense. Chandler Jones, rounding out our list, 19 sacks for a defense under Vance Joseph that was horrifically bad. For a defense under Vance Joseph that rarely played with a lead. You know when a lot of pass rushers get their sacks? When they have a lead and you can just pin your ear back and go. This is one of the most. It's unfortunate what's gone on with Chandler Jones post football because he is an all-time great Cardinal player. I mean, this was a historic season. 11 tackles for loss, 26 QB hits, 8 forced fumbles. Should have won Defensive Player of the Year, but his defense wasn't good enough, frankly. Almost broke the single-season sack record held by Michael Strahan. To me, this is the GOAT, best defensive player season in the history of the Cardinal franchise.
Yeah, look at the forced fumbles.
Yeah,
he got the ball on the turf 8 times that season. Just an absolute animal.
Unreal.
There's some great safety seasons, I think, from Adrian Wilson to Tyrann Mathieu, but like just up front, defensive front 7 guys like this. Playing that premium position, like Chandler Jones was unstoppable that year.
Just a genetic freak. The length, the power, the athleticism. Could use another Chandler Jones off the edge. Cardinals got some work to do there. We got work to do in the chat. The super chats are here. The new regime, $4.99. I saw your arch nemesis, Mike Florio, have a meltdown because someone posted they haven't seen one bad article about the Cardinals since the draft. Laugh out loud. I can't tell if that's true or not.
I'd love to see it. Just tag us on Twitter if there's footage of him melting down because he's not meeting his Cardinals hate quota.
Josh 499. Thank you so much, Josh. My Sugar Plum Prince Marv finally signed. Does this mean I can get a jersey now, or am I gonna still have to wait? Well, I think like all rookie jerseys are still like in the pre-order stage, but
Yeah.
like I think, I mean, definitely gonna have them by training camp. Like if you're trying to rock an MHJ jersey in 115-degree weather here in June, like I can't help you. But like if you're trying to rep one for this fall, they're going to be available. They're going to be available to purchase through multiple websites, the team store. So yeah, number 18 jerseys will be well represented at State Farm Stadium this fall, Bo.
Yeah. Also, you can get into the 18 collection. Why not get it ships what, June 10th? You can get some great swag like the MHJ t-shirt or the 18+1=6. Or how about just a Maserati Marv t-shirt? There it is. Oh, look at all those glorious tees right now in the PHNX merchandise locker. How about the PHNXlocker.com 18 collection? Get your hands on all three of these. Plus our PHNX Cardinal Rising tee is there as well. At MHJ, man, that's the one. That's the one you want. And the Maserati Marv. Oh, and also, yeah, so is 1+18=6 is the one you want to. All three of them. Can't wait for mine to ship as well.
Jessica saying comfiest shirts I own are from PHNX. I agree. I work out, sleep in yours, take a walk. I mean, they're fantastic. They're all-purpose shirts is what I tell people. But we broke a little news yesterday without you, unfortunately. So I have to get you caught up. Our guy Cardi D mentioned it early in the show, fired up about our trip to Florida to watch the Cardinals play the Dolphins. And we have official pricing for our package right now, powered by True Fan Travel and PHNX from the ALLCITY Network. Starting at $12.99, you can join myself, Damon, Dawg, Bo, Brack, and more. PHNX Sports, Hollywood Beach, Marriott for our PHNX road trip to Miami, October 25th through the 28th. It includes packages built upon flights to and from, transportation to and from the airport, hotel, again, 3-night stay. How about this? Game day transfers. You don't have to worry about anything other than just showing up with your suitcase. A PHNX boat party. How about that? An all-inclusive boat cruise has just been added. A Q&A with former Cardinal players. That's going to be announced. We can't wait to share that with you. A pep rally the night before the game. An all-exclusive tailgate the morning of. And, of course, the game day ticket right now. Put your deposits down. They're refundable till May 30th. Get your finances in order. But I'm going to tell you right now, I challenge everybody. Go and try to do this on your own. Piecemeal it out together. Go look at other packages. You will not beat our packages here. $12.99 and up right now. Build the pricing. The link, the description is in the show notes for the best event this NFL season. We picked one game that we wanted to go all out for. We tapped our leadership at ALLCITY, said, hook us up with True Fan Travel. We know they have the best deals. We want to go watch the Cardinals play the Dolphins in Miami, and they delivered tenfold, Bo.
Yeah, they did. This is going to be the biggest event we've ever done, and we're going to do it off campus. We're going to do it on the road in Miami for a huge game on the Cardinals schedule. You're going to get great. You're not going to get any better tickets. You're not going to get a better tailgate experience. You're not going to find a better hotel when you're traveling on the road, unless you're trying to do it yourself. And as Johnny says, you'll probably end up breaking the bank that way. Let True Fan Travel do it for you and PHNX Cardinals. This is unbelievable. This is going to be an unreal trip that you're not going to want to miss. We're going to be talking about it, all the stories and things that are going to come from this and the game itself. We'll be talking about on this podcast for years to come.
Yep. There are payment plans available up to 4 months. So it's like, okay, let's just get my finances in order, make a couple payments. I'm ready to rock and roll come October. There's a shirt included. And, I was talking to the GM Saul Bookman, and it's like, we're just going to continue to add to this. And guess what's not going to go up? The price. So the price is already crazy good, as Jessica mentions. The value is there, and then it's only going to get better. I mentioned this on yesterday's show. We had our draft party, huge success with our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. And then, it sold out. People showed up. We had a great time. And then, oh, by the way, we added Michael Wilson to the event. Autographs, signings. Like, we got stuff up our sleeve. And we just want to, at the end of the day, make an experience tenfold and a great time with all of you. So again, reach out. If you have any questions, you don't have to be 21. I got a question the other day from one of our peeps in the chat. One of our diehards said, hey, I'm just under 21. Can I go? Absolutely.
Yep.
Bring your family, bring your friends. Let's have the best time possible. And again, shop the 18 collection. Let's sport our gear together in unity in South Beach. and Hollywood Beach in Florida. We're fired up. The beach, by the way, the hotel, the Marriott, on the beach. We saw pictures. It's fantastic. And trip unlike any other. And we're fired up about it.
I heard little rumblings that when the 999 challenge goes south, Johnny is going to sign himself up for the 4-4-4 challenge, which is more kind of your speed, Johnny, at a football game.
How is this relevant? I'm confused by why
you do
why you're being
4 hot dogs and 4 beers and 4 quarters of football. I think you can do it.
Okay. Well, don't be a jackass, because here's what we're going to do. The rest of us that are going to be in the stands cheering on the Cardinals, you're going to be Mr. Hoity-toity in the press box. That's fine, because I'm a little bit more my speed to hang out with our friends in the stands. But we're fired up about it, guys. Reach out if you have any questions. We can't wait to see you all in Florida this fall. Josh, another super chat, $1.99. How many TDs will my honey bunny Greg Dortch have this year? Well, how many did Greg have last year, Josh? Your honey bunny. He's got cute pet names for everybody here. Our boy Greg Dortch last year had 2 touchdowns in limited time. The year before that, he had 2. So I think I'll put the over under at 2.5. I think you take the over. I'll go 4 touchdowns for Greg Dortch this year, career high.
It's not going to be another season where a coaching staff is going to sleep on Greg Dortch. He's going to get his opportunities, and I agree. I think over 2.5 is the right play.
Another super chat here. Lasso, $2. I wish Kime would have listened to Kyler about CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, things went unfortunate, and Isaiah Simmons is playing special teams for the Giants now. That didn't work out for anyone.
Probably wouldn't have Marv, though. Probably wouldn't be sitting here with Marvin Harrison Jr.
You would.
CeeDee Lamb. They'd be staring down paying CeeDee Lamb probably close to $30 million a season, which, look, it would be a good problem to have. I mean, the guy was unbelievable last year. But I'm excited about the future of the wide receiver position, even without CeeDee Lamb, but I don't disagree. Loso. It's been a big banner show. Happy anniversary to Gannonite and Mrs. Gannonite out there. And also, was it Plex's birthday? So it's a huge show for PHNX Cardinals community.
Like this video, subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. Tomorrow, we are going to preview remaining edge rushers still available. We had a question earlier. Cardinals going to make any moves? If they do, we believe it will be a pass rusher. We're going to take a deep dive into whom's available and really who makes sense, who might have ties to the Arizona Cardinals. But in the meantime, like this video, subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. Great to have my co-host Brack back in action. We're rounding it out. A phenomenal week of coverage here on PHNX Cardinals. Big thanks to Damon, Dawg, behind the mic. I am Johnny Venerable. We will see you on a Football Friday. Be well. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.